Alright, the last two drawing sheets we're going to set up here today is this drawing sheet that you see here with all the various objects, the animation, and the assembled line view along with the parts list. And then we're also going to come in here and set up the whole cube. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to do this one first. It's a very simple process, alright? So let's switch back over to our project that we were working on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and work on a new sheet. And it's very simple, easy. What we need to do is set up our base view like we did earlier in some of these other drawing sheets. Now, if you're in the drawing annotation panel, it's very easy just to switch back over to the drawing views panel, and then we're able to set up our base view and so on and so forth. So, base view, we're going to choose our cube, our assembled puzzle cube file, hit open. And then just make sure, now sometimes you can see that the scale is just too large, so let's make sure, as you can see, I can preview it over here when I move the cursor. Let's go ahead and shrink down that scale 1:1, okay, and that's a lot more appropriate. And also, in order to get it full color, as you see here, just like I told you before, we need to make sure that we choose the shaded property here underneath style. So when we hit OK, you can see now that it's a colored puzzle cube. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do now projected view. Do the top, ISO, right side, right click, create, okay, and then all you got to do now is just rearrange. If your drawing happens to run over the edge of the drawing sheet, it's very simple. You can come in and rearrange your views just a little bit so that they're a little bit more into the drawing, and so that's a good look right here. Okay, we got the top, right, and front views of our assembled puzzle cube. So that's easy, quick, and simple. Okay, so you guys I shouldn't have any problem with that. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to set up this larger drawing sheet, which honestly you guys have all the skills to be able to do this. I showed you that earlier, and I showed you how to do the parts list and how to do the balloons and things of that nature. So it's a very simple process, and I'll show you how you can do it very quick and simple. Okay, so let me switch over to my file I'm working on. Start up a new sheet. We're going to go ahead and call it Puzzle Cube Project. And we're in the third block here, or I'll just say third block. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Alright, so you can see here that we can very easily go through and set up our things. Now, I want you to notice something though before we get started. You notice how I have everything's named sheet 1, 2, 3, 4. It helps if you go through and name some of these files or sheets what they are. So you can delete that sheet. Alright, so it's very simple. If you could just click over it, you can see now that I can very easily change the name of the sheet to something else. So this would be, like, for example, my blue sheet. Oh, and so this right here would be the animation. So the reason why you want to do this though is because, as you can see here, it kind of gets confusing when you just have sheet 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth. So when you get down here to this last one, you want to show you want it to be the complete project, so that way you can have what is what. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and set up our drawing sheet. Very simple. Alright, click base view. We're going to go ahead and pull in our various pieces. Alright, so again, just like you did previously, we're going to choose our piece, come in and choose the appropriate view. Make sure this is the appropriate front view, and sometimes you might have to take a quick second to look at it just to double check. So that's good. Boom. Alright, and so now we're going to go ahead and set this up. But now look, you see how large it is? This is one thing that you need to be aware of. You want to set the scale down to 1/4 for these multi-view, or I'm sorry, the puzzle cube pieces itself. So we'll go through and click OK, move it around. Alright, so the best practice here is, instead of going through and doing that, and you could do the project view, right click, create, base view, choose the next piece, come in here, We'll rotate around. And when you're choosing these front views and everything, you want these to match the views that you had on your drawing sheets earlier, the previous drawing sheets where you had the individual pieces. So you want to make sure that you do so. So again, there's that view, projected, boom, 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 right click, create, base view, move on to the next piece. Let's bring in the orange, etc., etc. Again, it's very large, so shrink it down. Okay. Okay, I actually got caught up over here. Hold on, let's get it out the way. Now sometimes this will happen where you'll have an object or two views get kind of caught up, and you can just move them out the way. It's not too big of a deal. Alright, so here it is. Projected view. Boom, boom, boom. Right click, create. Now look, it's probably best to go ahead and try to get these drawings over here down on the bottom, along the bottom, so that you leave enough room across the top to put in the animation and the ISO or the assembled puzzle cube in your parts list. So we'll slide these around, and you see how you can move the images around a little bit. Now your front view and your top view, you'll notice though one thing is that it's associated with wherever the top view and the right view is associated with wherever the right view is. So when you move the right view, you can see that these other ones are kind of locked onto it, and then the ISO just moves by itself. So you want to make sure that you move these guys and get them squeezed in nice and tight. Alright. In order to be able to color in your isometric views, it's a very simple thing. Double click, choose the shaded, have it nice and colored in. Because what's going to happen is you want to have all of your drawings, as you can see here, all your ISOs colored in with full colors, you can see, so they look nice and cool. Alright, so let's bring in our animation file and drop that in there. And again, you might have to select what's the best view for your animation. Now the animation, you might want to shrink that down as well so that it doesn't take over the whole screen. So again, let's make it shaded, make it nice and colored. Let's go ahead and bring in your puzzle cube assembled file. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to do two base views for this, and then you're going to do one ISO from the right and one ISO from the left for your two base views. So the other thing is that you're going to have to increase the scale to 1/2. And so let me make that color. Boom. Do another base view, bring in the ISO or the assembled file. This time we're going to do ISO from the left. And again, this is going to resemble what you did in your earlier assignment, or when you guys hand drew the solutions to your design here. Okay. So now that we got all this set up, all you got to do now is go through the annotation panel, set up your parts list, and if you don't recall how to do that, I showed you in a previous file or a previous video. Do the balloon, and you want to balloon all the images that you see here. So you want to set up a parts list and balloon and have that all set up in your file. Now again, if you do not recall how to do all this, refer back to that previous video that I have. Just wait 1 second. Okay, that's gone away. So what you need to do now is make sure that everything is set up in here, and make sure that you have everything that you need for this file. Now if you're unaware of what all you need for your project, or what all you need to complete the drawing sheets, if you refer over to, let me pull it up for you. If you refer over to the PowerPoint that I created showing you guys, I have a Puzzle Cube complete project. Alright, so it shows you everything that you need for your Puzzle Cube project. All the drawing sheets, all the Inventor assignments, even shows you examples of the various drawing sheets. So if you look down here towards the end, here's an example of that drawing sheet that shows your animation assemble all the puzzle cube pieces across the bottom, parts list, balloons, etc. and so forth. So if you ever have any questions about what you need for this, finish this sheet up, go ahead and do so. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'll just go through and I'll set up the rest of this so you guys can kind of see what's going on and finish up this assignment. Alright?